Simone Biles did it again. The most decorated U.S. Olympic gymnast has triumphed in Paris, and not just once. However, only several years ago, she was called a quitter.
Oh, I thought I was gonna be banned from America. Because that's what they tell you, don't come back. If it's not gold or bust, don't come back.
Let's have a look at Simone's path to gymnastics glory, which definitely hasn't been an easy ride. The painful experience. Absolutely everyone who watched the 2020 Tokyo Olympics was astonished when a once-in-a-lifetime athlete pulled out of the competition. For the audience, it looked like a strange and unexpected move. And only those close to Simone knew how serious things were.
I literally felt like I was fighting my body and my mind. It's like your body, your brain opens up, have no idea where you are.
Unfortunately, Biles' family couldn't be with her in Tokyo because of the COVID restrictions. So she had to deal with the life-threatening problem alone. The legendary athlete left her team and sought out therapy to reconnect with herself and her body. And this summer, Simone finally got her redemption with 3 Olympic golds, including one for the team.
We all have something to prove from Tokyo, so getting back out there and competing and showing everybody exactly what we're capable of was the goal, and now we're golden, so it's super amazing.
At 27, the greatest of all times is stretching the age limits in this demanding sport. Well, Biles has always been a fighter, ever since her early days. Challenging childhood. When Simone was little, her biological mother, Shannon, was dealing with addiction to substances. She was unable to care for her 4 children.
Growing up, me and my siblings were so focused on food because we didn't have a lot of food.
After reports from neighbors, the social workers intervened, and the Biles kids were sent to live in foster care. Simone was only 3 at the time.
I was in foster home with my siblings for a couple of years.
She admitted that she didn't remember much about those times, except for the constant hope of returning to her mother. That never happened, though, as Shannon lost custody of her children when Simone was 5. Instead, the future gymnastics star and her younger sister Adria got adopted by their grandfather Ronald and his second wife Nellie. If that hadn't happened, the world would probably not have known Simone Biles as we do today.
But I also believe everything happens for a reason, and I'm forever grateful for that.
The same year she was adopted, Biles visited a gymnastics center while on a daycare field trip, and that was the moment the history started. Weakness turned into a strength. Simone immediately fell in love with gymnastics, even though she never heard of it before. She couldn't just watch the sportsmen, she had to try their moves, and Biles was so good that one of the coaches noticed her raw talent. They invited the girl to take gymnastics classes. Thankfully, her parents not only approved of Simone's aspirations, but also provided unwavering support, both mentally and financially, despite having 3 other children. At 6, Simone was the oldest child in her class, as most of the gymnasts start their lessons as toddlers.
I started gymnastics a little bit later, so it took me a while to catch up.
It soon turned out that she was a natural. When someone performed a trick, Simone was sure she could do one too, and she nailed all of them almost on the spot. The coaches could hardly keep up with the young athlete, who couldn't sit still. They learned the reason for this when Simone was 9. She was diagnosed with ADHD. That made it hard for Biles to concentrate in school, but also made her one of the most dynamic gymnasts ever seen.
Now I train 32 to 34 hours a week just to compete for about 3 or 4 minutes.
But unfortunately, that wasn't the only issue Simone had to deal with throughout her career. Horrendous betrayal. In 2018, Biles stepped forward with her account of sexual abuse by Larry Nassar. She was one of the hundreds of girls who suffered from the actions of this former Team USA doctor. The elite athlete explained that she spent years compartmentalizing things.
And I didn't want to talk about it because I'm like, no, it couldn't happen to me. Like, there's just no way.
But after realizing the truth, Biles didn't hesitate to support her fellow gymnasts who revealed their stories. Simone went on to give a testimony before the Senate to make sure no one else would suffer the horror she did.
We have been failed, and we deserve answers. Nassar is where he belongs, but those who enabled him deserve to be held accountable.
She also shared her devastating experience to support other survivors.
So the main part that he took away from me that I'll never get back is trust. And so I think it's very hard for me to trust some other people, but it'll all come back within time.
Sadly, this story affected Simone more than she expected. The Twisties. Many have called Biles unbeatable on the floor, as the outstanding gymnast is known for her willingness to take risks. But in Tokyo, she had to step back because of the so-called Twisties.
But it's basically like your mind and your body is at a disconnect. Your body is gonna try to do something and your mind is gonna be like, no, you're not doing this, you're gonna open out, you're gonna do this.
In Simone's case, it created a dangerous feeling of being lost in the air. So when she stepped down from competition, Biles didn't only protect her mental health, but her life too. And even though she was adamant her decision was right, she also had other thoughts.
America hates me. The world is gonna hate me. And I can only see what they're saying on Twitter right now.
Simone's breakdown fell hard on her teammates as they lost their best player.
So that's something that I'll never forgive myself for.
The other problem was that the Twisties take loads of time to get over. For Simone, it took 2 years before she was able to come back to her full-on training routine. As usual, Biles made her weakness her strength. She openly shared her path to mental well-being and inspired others to seek help and support.
It's okay not to be okay, and I've taught myself that, and I've learned so much about myself through this journey.
Thankfully, she has a tightly knit support circle, which includes her parents, siblings, and teammates. But her biggest fan is her husband, Jonathan Owens. He's also a professional athlete, who currently plays for the Chicago Bears. The power couple. The two met online on a dating app, amid lockdown for the pandemic.
Before I started dating my boyfriend, he didn't know who I was.
Biles slid into Owens's DMs, as she found him pretty cute. They started chatting, and a couple of weeks later went on to hang out together.
Man, it happened when you least expected. And we hung out, man, it was like we hit it off instantly.
Their relationship evolved quickly, from connecting in March to becoming Instagram official in August 2020. Jonathan began attending Biles' family dinners every Sunday around this time. Simone also met Owens's family, and they spent Christmas together. Both professional athletes, the two became interested in each other's sports. Biles was there to cheer on Owens during his first NFL start, while Jonathan shared that watching Simone compete in person was unbelievable. And of course, he supported his girlfriend after Biles had to withdraw from the Tokyo Olympics. Owens shared his love on Instagram, writing,
"You always gonna be my champ, baby, and don't you ever forget that. You know I'm always here for you."
The couple got engaged in early 2022 and got married in a civil ceremony the next year. But they've got another bigger celebration later, in Mexico, in front of 144 guests. Simone revealed that seeing Jonathan at the altar was a dream.
Our guests were cheering for everyone. I was shocked by the love in the air.
This year, Owens even negotiated to miss a few days of preseason training to watch Biles at the Paris Olympics. And if you're into sports, you know how difficult that is. Simone really appreciated Jonathan's support at the event, especially after Tokyo. We wish the two all the happiness in the world, and even more gold medals to the greatest gymnast ever. Let us know in the comments if you want to learn more about Simone and her family. Thanks for watching, and stay awesome.